my introduction is doctors that impacted my life, and in the year 2000, I visited your office, Dr. Sai, for severe asthma. In 2 weeks,
yeah,
I
that's very
noticed,
interesting.
in 2 weeks, I noticed a difference. And in 3 months or less, I needed no atomizers to help me breathe. Now, for 35 years, Dr. Sai, I suffered from asthma. I was a 10-year-old little girl. I remember, it was awful. I remember every incident of my life from 10 years onward that I would have to be taken to the emergency room because I could not breathe. I remember going outside in the cold, and as soon as I hit the cold, my bronchial tubes would spasm, and I could not breathe, and I would have to get either help, and if that, by atomizers, and if the atomizers didn't work, I ended up in the emergency room. That was my life as a young child, as a teenager, and a young adult. When I moved to Connecticut, and about 12 years ago I got married, my husband took me to the emergency room twice. And the second time, he looked at me and he said, "This is unacceptable." In other words, he was telling me he was not going to be taking me to the emergency room from now on. A friend of his recommended you because his wife could not get pregnant, and they had 2 children. So he recommended you to my husband, and my husband said, "Why don't we try him?" And I said, "Sure, absolutely." And so that's where I came, and in 2 weeks, I had no more symptoms of asthma. A few months later, I needed no atomizer. I finally had to throw them away. And Dr. Sai, it's been 10 years. It's been more than 10 years. If we look, I would like to find out if it was more than 10 years. Now, since that happened, it impacted my life in that I was always a person that was interested in being healthy, but I didn't know what to do with my asthma. When we came to your office and you did acupuncture, and I think more than acupuncture, and correct me if I am wrong, the herbs, the oriental herb, that mixture that you gave me that I had to drink for several months, I think maybe that had such an impact in my body, more so than the acupuncture, but again, you would have to correct me if I'm right. I don't know much about acupuncture. Right. I've been wanting to interview you and find out more information ever since I, got better.
Yes.
And so now I am adding a healthy living component because I've been doing research ever since that time on how I can continue to be healthy. I do research all the time, and I wrote everything down. And now I give presentations. I've given presentations to the Chamber of Commerce.
That's very nice.
I've given healthy living sessions in my office now for women. I have a program that I'm going to be doing at the library in Shelton, which is a little bit off the path of this, but as a result of my change of life, I was able to have a story of my life published in an anthology. I wrote a chapter of my life, which is a little unrelated to my being healthy, but that actually transformed me to a person that wanted to do healthy living and wanted to help other women on how they can become healthy by using natural remedies that you can buy in the store and not necessarily drugs. I have been using alternative care since I first saw you. I have not used any drugs.
Oh, that's very interesting. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you to come 10 years later.
Yes.
Over 10 years later, we'll meet again, and you still breathing well.
I absolutely cannot believe it.